Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Hundreds of Beavers. And this is a quirky slapstick comedy adventure out in the wilderness in the 19th century in this black and white shot film as we see this applejack salesman who winds up getting caught up in the life of trying to become a fur trapper, trying to capture the love of a young woman, and all the shenanigans he must go on trying to fight all the animals in the forest who are all just human beings in animal suits, which is absolutely hilarious. And this film is from writer-director Mike Cheslick, and just, you have this film that is just so quirky and weird and offbeat. Our main character doesn't speak really at all very often, and you see him out in the wilderness doing, like, trying to fight people in rabbit costumes, bear costumes, beaver costumes, specifically obviously based off of the title, wolf costumes, and all the shenanigans that go along with this. This movie is legitimately hilarious. I do feel like it wears a bit. It is an hour and 48 minutes, and they probably could have cut down some of the gags to make this a little tighter. But even so, it is hilarious. It is ridiculous. Like, just the image of this crazed man desperately trying to survive in the forest or capture these furs and, like, running away from, like, hundreds of people in, like, beaver costumes, setting up all these wacky traps. This is like a live action Looney Tunes, and, like, the animals in the Looney Tunes are just people in animal costumes. And, you know, this has so many quirky, weird, animated elements to it. It has such an interesting visual expression about it. It uses some good special effects. It uses great cinematography, from the black and white to the very evocative, like, use of shadows. And Quinn Hester, who's the cinematographer, does an amazing job. You have Chris Ryan, who does the score, really tries to set the mood here. And it balances between a lot of tones. There's some, like, scary moments, especially at night, with the wolf characters involved at certain points in the narrative. Like, they were legitimately creepy. And this film's not shying away from violence and blood and drugs and sex jokes and all kinds of different humor. And it's able to balance all these things in a really impressive way. And I love, like, some of the details of just seeing, like, the character moving along, like, this hand-drawn map at points, or, you know, gets knocked around and has, like, the little birds flying around or the stars. This is a live-action Looney Tunes cartoon in many ways, as we see this man trying to make it as a fur trapper and trying to woo this woman, and all of these elements. It's silly, it's quirky, it's weird, and just straight wild. This is such a fascinating film that I had so much fun with, and I can't wait to, like, tell people about this and just be like, yeah, I watched Hundreds of Beavers. You know what it's about? Well, let me tell you. And hopefully they'll get a laugh out of it, because this is an absolutely absurd concept. But it just so works with every element, from the cinematography to the music to the casting to the direction. It just has everything firing on cylinders, and maybe the script might be a little too drawn out, a little too many extra diversions. But in the end, this is a crazy fun time that you'll be hard-pressed to replicate in any other film. But those are my thoughts on Hundreds of Beavers. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.